Well, we're going to have to come back here in a little bit. I see some sort of ore, but I also see a whole ton of locusts. We're about to come back with our armor. We're not that far away. But yeah, let's just do a red cave. Hello there, and welcome back to Vintage Story. I hope you're having a wonderful day. We're going to go back out and explore that cave I just saw a minute ago. But if you hadn't seen, Gemini Tay started doing a Vintage Story stream. She's, of course, one of the members of the Hermitcraft server, and it looks like more of them might be playing, so, check out her channel, check out her streams. You definitely want to watch someone learn the game the hard way. But, yeah, we're going to go check out that cave. We're going to avoid all the rifts that like spawning around my house. I've got to light this place up. And then when we get back, we're going to start working on our farm, since it is nearing the end of winter. I'm going to want to have crops planted as soon as it's warm enough for crops. And because we have to grow a lot of stuff. And to that end, I actually found a whole bunch of high fertility soil while I was out exploring. So we're going to be using that for our farmland. But we just have to run a little bit of a distance. And then fight whatever we find there. I've got all my mining supplies, my arrows, my falcons, and my armor. So I don't have to worry about having my butt kicked by all the locusts. Alright, here's the side entrance. So let's eat up a bit. Got our lantern. Or at least our oil lamp. And go in here and see what exactly is in here. Aside from the locusts. Oh, wow. At least these are the, if I can hit them. I was gonna say, at least these are the weak locusts, the ones that only take a hit or two to take out. Oh, that's a lot of, that's a lot of spawners. I swear, the drifters hit harder than the locusts do. At least they take damage on the spikes like I do. And when we break the locust nest, we get a bit of loot. Does take a moment to break, though. There we go. Bit of flax twine. And some rope. Boy, that was something. And we still got more drifters to worry about. Yeah, but if nothing else, we'll get a bit of flax from this. Okay, where is he? It's a good thing I decided to bring my armor. I'd be dead 3 times over if not for the meteoric armor. Okay, I thought all of this were I thought all this was like iron. It does have, what was that? Oh, sphalerite, was it? Let's go back and check. All right, forgot. Zinc. Sphalerite, it's zinc. But, and that's important, we do need it. But I thought it was maybe iron or hematite. Hematite is iron. I do wish you could loot locusts. I realize the higher tier locusts, they do drop stuff, but like, I wish we could loot the bronze locusts. Get something useful. There's 3 of them over there. Well, we got a little bit of flax out of this. Not a ton. Was there another spawner up here, or was it just the one? Yes, there are more spawners up here. Okay. I don't remember how you get rid of the cage. I know you can... Okay, I think I heard that if you remove the block the cage is connected to, so that one up there, it might drop? No. Alright, last time, when I tried mining this, it would periodically spawn. Okay, well, that was either changed or was not the case. Ooh, we got some metal bits. Metal parts. We really have to get to Translocator and actually give it a whirl. See where we wind up. Ooh, there's another cage over here. Okay, well, now that I've cleared this, I'm just going to collect the cephalorite around here. It is rich. That's good. And then we'll head back and get started on updating our farms. I do have to build a greenhouse. I have a whole ton of quartz now to turn into glass for that purpose. Grab the lead while we're here too. And then we're going to look at what we're going to build our actual house out of. And I will, remind you what the plan is when we actually get to that. Oh, by the way, you can mine these spikes so you don't take damage on them. And I think they can occasionally drop rusted metal. Yes. Is it rusted metal? It's metal scraps. That is the weirdest thing. Walking, I just started digging out my digging out here to do some more charcoal, and I get like right here, and I hear a ding. Like if you get a headshot in Minecraft sort of ding. And I have no idea where it came from, and I think I'm losing my mind. Anyway, so we're going to jump into a creative world in a moment quickly because I need to figure out which block I want to use for our house. Because we're going to start laying out the outline, and I need to look at a few options to figure out what block is best for a Spanish villa. So just to remind you, I do want to do a Spanish villa inspired by, I might pronounce this wrong, but it's Czars. I see as Charles. Again, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Sorry, but he's got a great video. I'll link it again. Here is a picture of his build. So I want to do something like that. And from the looks of his video, he's using plaster. So I want to just look at some of these different build materials that we can go with. So we got plaster. Then I was thinking, what others? So we got tan, wattle, and daub. We've got light brown, wattle and daub. Ashen, wattle, and daub. Which, doesn't make that bad of a transition if I want to try doing a little bit of shading with it. We, of course, have, go back over here while I plaster, we've got just chalk. I'm not a huge fan of just the chalk. That's chalk sand. I did not mean to grab the sand, I don't think. The polished, I don't like the texturing on that. We also have white marble. Oh, I think the plaster's probably the best of the bunch. Although I do think mixing in a little bit of the daub could do really good for weathering. So if we do, let's clear those out. So let's say we've got the corner here, right? Instead of doing the whole build out of just the plaster like that, you'd always do like a little bit there maybe a little ash, and then come through with the chisel. And just sort of, you know, break it up a little bit. Make it look a little more, you know, like that. I think that might work nicely. Give it a little texturing so that's not all just the flat plaster. Use this to add a little bit of shading and or variance to the build. But that means I will have to go out and get some tan and some ashen, and you know, I might as well get the light brown materials while I'm at it. So what do those require? So tan just uses the raw. Okay. Oh, no. Tan uses granite sand. All right. What about ashen? Uses andesite sand. And the light brown uses limestone sand. Or chalk sand. And we've got access to chalk. So, okay. It's a good place to start. Now I'm going to go back into our actual world. And I'm going to start laying out the area. But I'm going to use the... I didn't test that. Ram dirt. How does the ram dirt look next to these? Not that good. Okay. Well, I'm going to use the ram dirt to set up the outline of where the villa's going to be. Because then once we have that lined up, we can figure out where exactly we're going to put our farms and everything. So here's the starting outline. I just dug out all the peat that was here. And so we have mountains of peat right there. I'm now filling this back in so it's nice and level. This is 42 by 42. That's pretty big, but there's going to be an open courtyard where I'm going to have some of our berries. Specifically the grape bushes. But that means I can start clearing this area out, putting down our high fertility soil, and setting up our new farms. You know, I was just thinking, I'm going to have the door to the villa like right here, facing out this way. And I'm going to do a path over that way and a path that way. So if I'm going to put my farm fields up front here, I'm probably going to want to leave a path from the center, wherever the center is, running out that way, and put the farm fields on either side of that. And then, of course, like, we'll put a road going this way and then going to intersect with the bridges, and another road coming down the middle to do the same thing. Then over here to our beehive kiln, and what will eventually be where our cementation furnaces are. So yeah, I just thought of that as I was about to start digging up the dirt for the farms, because I have right here our high fertility soil. Now I can start making some terra preta out of this. I have 48 compost. So if I grind down some charcoal and some bone meal and include the compost I have, I can make 6 terra preta. I don't think that's enough to worry about right now. But yeah, so we can do that with high fertility soil. I have found other deposits of high fertility soil, so I'm just going to save with the compost first and then do that later. Okay, found the center point, and so I've cleared out some grasses where our road's going to be. But I was thinking, I'm going to want to outline where the farms are. So I just went out, got some clay, so we can do some clay there. I forget the recipe already. Oh, we need to grab some sand. Oh, we don't need to use sand. We can do the other recipe, which is dark, which doesn't have sand. So let's do this. We're going to want grass there, and then some soil there. That gives us mud bricks. And yeah, we're just going to dig out this here. We're going to outline this area with the mud bricks. Again, just so we can kind of have... trying to think of the word. Like, we're going to the fencing on the mud bricks. And then we're going to do here, I need some stones from inside. Do some of that and some of that. Make some path blocks. We're obviously going to make a lot more than just these 4, but give you an idea. We'll then have the path blocks like that running down. And then we're going to put a... It's going to be a 4-wide gate here. Don't know which game I'm going to use. We'll figure that out later. But yeah, this is the outline. This is the idea. And then inside this area here will be 1 field. I might have it split up into 2. And then ditto on that side. And again, probably have it split up into 2 actual fields. And that way we can have our nitrogen field, our potassium field, our kalium field, and then have a foul field. Foul? Is that the right word? Foul's a bird. A field with nothing planted on it so it gets a chance to recover its nutrition. So I just noticed as I finished my last batch of leather that we now have enough to make the saddlebags. So we need 2 sets of nails and strips and 23 leather, it looks like. And there we go. We got a saddlebag, so we can go stick that on our elk and carry a little more stuff, which is nice because I'm about to go out and collect a whole ton of lime, well, chalk, because we need to make plaster for the walls, and I also need more lime, lime water to make more leather. So, we go over here, take our saddlebags. I think we just stick them on his butt. Yes. Then how do we access it? Just right-clicking on it. So there we go. Now we have saddlebags for our elk. He holds a bunch more stuff for us. We can go collect a whole ton of chalk. How did I not realize this was a thing? I get dizzy doing this too much. I'm going to need to make a second quarn. This is taking far too long for the amount of plaster we're going to need. I was rewatching Charles' video. Again, I think that's the way it's pronounced. And while I'm not copying his video 1 for 1, I am, drawing heavy inspiration from it. And if I were to copy it 1 for 1, I would need something like 1,800 plus blocks. Oh wow, there's a lot of baddies coming from there. Of plaster. 1,800 blocks of plaster is over 60 stacks of lime. And I have about 6 stacks worth of chalk right now. Now, granted, over here, not too far away, I don't remember its exact location, if it's over here or down here, there is a large chalk biome. So I can get plenty of chalk. I was over there mining not too long ago. But yeah, 1 stack of chalk stone processes down into 1 stack of lime. 1 stack of lime becomes half a stack of limestone. So to make 30 stacks of plaster, we need 60 stacks of lime. If I even using the automation of the windmill, that's going to take a very long time. Plus, I need to go find some place where I'm going to be able to find 60 stacks worth of sand. That's a lot of sand. So I got my hands full. It's going to take a while to get everything I need. And my cat has moved down to my cellar because it got out of the bedroom somehow and got stuck in here. Yeah, it's not a very smart cat. But like I said, I was rewatching Charles's video, and I do recommend watching it. And he's got some other great videos to watch too. I do highly recommend them because he is a very good builder. Can get a lot of good ideas from him. I love his chisel work he did for the arches. I loved it so much. I am going to redo this. I'm going to redo this whole arch system here to be like the arches he used, because it just looks so much better than what I've got. These, it's not as important to change those, but this one, it looks clunky, and so yeah. So I just added 2 new mods. Yep, it was bound to happen eventually. One of them is pretty cool. It is the sandwich mod. You can make a cutting board, slice bread, and make sandwiches. Pretty basic, but it's another food type, so we'll make sandwiches eventually. The other mod, I was actually going to go do this myself, but I figured I'd check the mod database, and I found it. So I will include a link for it in the description in a moment, but let's remove this for a moment. We're going to move a bunch of stuff in my inventory. We need to pick up our pulverizer and set it back down so we can use it. So, pulverizer is set. It is on. We're going to throw a piece of stone. Am I going to have to do a shoot for this? Anyway, the mod I added is a mod that allows you to crush gravel into sand and allows you to crush stone, both the cracked stone and also regular stone. Oh, maybe not the cracked stone. Maybe just the regular stone. Regular stone. We can crush regular stone into gravel and then gravel into sand. We can also take, these small stones and a couple of these. Yeah, see, 0.4 stone gravel. So if you toss 40 of these small stones in, you'll get 10 gravel. Let's see if this works. We should get one. Yeah, we got 1 gravel out. Oh, there we go. I just didn't click in the right spot. And there we go. Now we got sand. So this mod allows us to automate making sand from gravel and from stone. And goodness knows I'm going to need a lot of sand for all the plaster and also all the daub. I am not in a very sandy location. I've got plenty of gravel, and obviously I've got a lot of snow. You can't really see it. But the nearest desert is over here. It's a gravel desert. And that's a gravel desert. And that's a gravel desert. And over here's a gravel desert. And down here's a gravel desert. So I have, like, no sand. In fact, when I was building this hut, to get the bauxite sand I needed in order to actually make it, I had to travel all the way down to this river here. And you can actually see on the map all the sand I had to dig out from along the shoreline, because that was all the bauxite sand that was actually available. So now with this mod, which is called simply Pulverize Rocks, you can pulverize rocks into gravel and gravel into sand. Now, I did make a very minor adjustment to the code for this mod. I changed it from requiring a pulverizer tier of 4, which is steel, to a pulverizer tier of 3, which is iron and meteoric iron. So, that's what we got. And we can now make sand and make my life just a little bit easier. It means I am going to need to automate this, which is not getting done for this episode, but it means that, well, I mean, we still haven't done the windmill yet. But yes, I can automate this whole process. I can make chutes and chests so that the gravel gets fed into the pulverizer and then into the and then when it's done, it'll go out into another chute and then into another chest. So I can literally put whole stacks and just cycle them through, which make our life very easy for making all the plaster we're gonna need. Pulverized Rocks mod. Like I said, I'll include a link so you can download it if you want. It is a new mod. It only has like 500 downloads. But as I said, I was literally going to do that myself. I was going to figure out what I needed to do to write a mod and then do that. And then I found it already existed. So I'm happy. Makes my life a little easier. Unlike building this house. This is going to take a while. Oh, and it's not going to stay perfectly square. It is going to have parts that come in and parts that jut out a bit, but I was just laying out the framework. So, big old square. You know, I was going to cut, but it's late. I'm tired. I ran a half marathon yesterday. I broke my personal record by 10 minutes. And I broke my last record last weekend by 7 minutes. So in the past 2 weeks, I've increased my half marathon time by 17 minutes. So I'm tired. I'm going to call it an end here. I will... Well, I'm not making Terraformer Craft series right now. So I can actually spend a lot more time just running stuff in the background. So between episodes, I'm going to go out, try to find more, not terra preta, high fertility soil. Hopefully it'll be spring rather soon, so we can actually start growing our normal crops. I did plant some rye because I thought it'd be fine, and then it got cold again, so yeah, they're all damaged, but 75% is better than most things, which yield like 50% when they get frosted, so extra rye, that's fine. And actually going to start building the walls. So that's what I'm going to be doing between episodes. Until then, though, thank you for joining me today. I hope you've had a wonderful day. I want to say thank you to my channel members for your support, and I'll see you all next time. Later.